Hello friends, it's Tanya from Tinkerin' and Ink with Tanya, and I'm here to show you how to make these cute treat packages. I've seen smaller versions, but we're going to use a version that uses a 6x6 piece of designer series paper or vellum or whatever you decide to use to make a package that will hold a cookie or a couple of small treats like the Reese's clusters. I also use the Wood Words stamp set. Right there. Very cute, and we're going to use this spray of flowers, and we're going to do a quick loose watercolor and get it all sparkly. So we need a piece of watercolor paper, 3.5 by 3.5 inches or 8.9 centimeters by 8.9 centimeters. A piece of black cardstock to do the little fresh treats sentiment. That's at least 2 inches wide because we're going to heat emboss on that and trim it off. And then a piece of designer series paper or vellum or whatever you want to use, but 6 by 6 inches or 15.2 centimeters square. So let's get started. So we're going to use the envelope punch board to make the base of this treat. This part is super easy. So you're going to move this to the 3-inch mark, punch, and score. Same in, all the way around, 3-inch mark, punch and score 4 times. That part's done. Just lightly creasing this. Don't even need to use the bone folder. We'll set that aside. And then I'm going to use my Misty. I can't wait for the Stamparatus to come out because that looks so awesome compared to this. But this is what I have right now. So we're going to take that 3-inch piece of watercolor paper and we're going to put it in our stamp positioner, or you can freehand this. The reason I'm doing this on the stamp positioner is because I'm going to stamp it once, watercolor it, and then I'm going to stamp again over the top to crisp up the black lines. So we're going to stamp it once. Get some good pressure right in the middle because I know mine tends to not want to stamp real cleanly right in the middle. And then I'm going to take my aqua painter and some fun colors of ink. We're going to use some rose red, which I have a little puddle of, some soft suede, and some emerald envy. So there's my paint palette. Going to pick up some of that rose red and loosely color in the flowers. This is not fussy at all. This is just dabbing the color on to dry paper with a wet brush. These kind of look like little berries. This can look very springish or very Christmas. That's why I chose the colors I chose this time, because they are rather Christmassy, but will transition to any other season. Oh, I'm trying not to cough on you folks. One of my triggers is the Sharpie that I use to write out the dimensions. So maybe I should do that much earlier than right before I'm going to do my video. Live and learn, right? So I've got a cloth off screen here that I'm just wiping my blender pen on. And then I'm going to go back and add the green on the leaves. I'm really not being careful at all with this. That's the nice thing about watercolor. You can be messy and it still looks good. Did I miss anybody? That looks pretty good. So the brown, these little speckly dots, they kind of remind me of little pine cones. That's why I decided to paint them brown. Lots of those. I think we're about done with that. So let's close these up. And I'm going to heat set this really quick just to dry it before I stamp over it again with the black. Get my stuff all put back. Inking up. And yes, I got some on the edge of my stamp, but it will be just fine. The Misty really prevents any stamp positioning tool like this, prevents you from over stamping. And that looks pretty good. I have had to do it 2 or 3 times the second go round, but this looks good. So again, I'm going to hit it with the heat tool. Huh. I have a little Asian lady beetle hanging out on my... Yeah, those things are the bane of my existence right now. They are every freaking where. Okay, so next I'm going to use a little Wink of Stella, clear Wink of Stella, and I could have dried that a little longer. You can see the black is moving around. Okay, this is one I did earlier that should be very dry. So I've got a little bit of blending with the red and the green, but not with the black. These do work nice as little aqua painters too. So if you have an empty one, just refill it and you've got a shimmery aqua pen or aqua painter. You don't have to add the shimmer. I think it's fun though. So that again. I'm going to bring my Big Shot up here real quick. And it doesn't fit so great on this, but we're going to make do. So to get this, the circle, I'm going to use the largest stitch circle from Stitch Shapes. Center that on there. Make sure it's going to all cut out. And this is one of my broken plates. You know how our precision plate is kind of hard on cutting plates. Well, you know, I frequently only need that much to be covered, and so this works awesome. Use it more than my full-size plates. So there is our little circle, and then we just need to do our sentiment really quick. I lined that up on the grid of this Misty, and I'm going to use my powder, my embossing buddy. Stick that in the other corner because I had lined this up already, and I'm going to use some Versamark. Where did I stick my Versamark? Down here. Ink that up, and this is the Fresh Treats, which is totally appropriate for this particular project. And I'm only using the Misty now because it's got the grid lines, so I can make this nice and straight. Not too bad there. Take some white embossing powder. we're almost done. Just going to heat set that. Oops. I'll put that away later. I love heat embossing. It's like magic every time. Okay. Take that and trim it down. I happen to know that this is roughly a 1/2 inch. That looks pretty good. Trim off the ends. You could do this all with a pair of scissors too, just there you go. So we're going to take some dimensionals and put this Fresh Treats on. See how those just fit? Where do I want this time? That looks good. I'll take that. So there's 2 of those Reese's clusters, and they fit in there just perfectly. I'm going to take a dimensional and use that to tack. Whoops, that one stuck to the release paper. Tack those corners down. Ooh. Put another one there. Center our Fresh Treats on the package. And there it is. This would work for Christmas or any other holiday. This paper does a beautiful one also. Here's the first one again. Oh, my vellum one is hiding. That's because it fell on the floor. So there are 3 cute treats. Look at that. Alright. There is a clickable supply list in my blog post and at the bottom of the YouTube description. Please go visit my store, share this video, like my page and my YouTube station, subscribe. There will be more videos to come. Thank you. Bye-bye.